Problem number 6, read, compute the mean, median, and mode and range of the data 2720,148. Number 2 says write the equation that the best fit line below, and they give you a line. Being that it's Monday, who goes over this? Let's go. So step 1, what do we do with any data that I give you? Tell your neighbor, what do we do with any data that I give you? Ascending order, that is correct. So we got 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, and 20. All right, next, mean. So to find mean or mu, I need to add all and divide by the number of numbers. So we got 28, 30, and 11, that's 41, 42. So 42 divided by 6, that is 7. Median. Remind your neighbor how to find the median, please. If there's nothing in the middle, remind your neighbor, how do we find the median? So let's see, we start from the edges. One from the left, another one from the right, from the left, from the right, from the left, from the right. There's nothing here. So what do? You add 7 plus 4 and divide by 2. So 7 plus 4 is 11 divided by 2. That gives us 5.5. That's our median. Mode. Do we have anything that repeats? No, no mode. And last but not least, the range. We take the largest, largest value minus the smallest. So 20 minus 1, that's 19, and that's our range. How are we doing? Yes? Number 2, write the equation of the best fit line. So we start by writing y equals mx plus b. Y equals blank x blank. And I start with my y-intercept. My y-intercept being 3 plus 3. From there, slope. I'm going to take 2 points that are on the line, this one and this one. To get from there to there, I go steps up, make a right turn, and go that way. So that means I take from 4 to 6, I take 2 steps up, and here on the x, I'm at 3, and I'm going all the way to 9. So how many steps? 6. So this is 2 over 6. And if I simplify that, y equals 1/3 x plus 3. Hands if you got that by yourself? Yeah, some of you? All right. All right, that was warm-up number 6. Copy the agenda. Agenda, warm-up number 6 done. Today we're moving on to measure central tendency. Home plate for tonight is 4 problems, and once again, I'm going to give you time at the end to finish here in class, so stay on the ball, please. And once you copy the agenda, I want to see what you did with the warm-up. Send me that warm-up to that code that's going live. Just a reminder with those cell phones. All right, guys, so as we continue tonight's home plate 4 problems. However, if you do not finish in class, copy this code on your notes, please. BZQWN. BZQWN. So that, like that, when you get home, that gives you access to this presentation on Nearpod. On the slides that require you to write something, just kind of like scribble so it can continue and go till you get to the screen that looks like this. That's going to be the home plate for tonight. All right? Once again, the code to have access to that in case you don't finish in class, BZQWN. All right, y'all ready? All right, here we go. I can summarize data and compute the measure central tendency. I can summarize data and compute the measure central tendency. I can summarize data and compute the measure central tendency. So, by looking at the objective, tell your neighbor what is the main concept for today, the main idea. What's the main idea? Yes, measure central tendency. And what are we doing? We're summarizing and computing those. Now, as we move along throughout the school year, guys, you're going to see that a lot of the work in the lessons that come up, we already did most of it in the lessons prior because I introduced those in the warm-ups. That's why it's very important that as soon as you get here, work on your warm-up because a lot of those skills are going to come up in the next sessions. Okay? All right? So, since our measure central tendency is the main concept, that goes in your FAIR model, in the box, yes? All right, here it goes. Measures of central tendency. Karima, can you get the light, please? Because it's very faded. Thank you. Definition. What are measures of central tendency? They are commonly used measures of center. I'll repeat that again. Commonly used measures of center for a set of numerical data that represents a central or typical value of the data set. Copy that, please. Once again, measures of central tendency are commonly used measures of center. I'll repeat that again. Commonly used measures of center. Commonly used, what does that mean? That those are the ones that they use the most. Kind of like, what is it that you use the most on a daily basis? Your cell phone, hello. So that would be a central tendency. But here it says commonly used measures of center for a set of numerical data that represents a central or typical value of the data set. Examples. Y'all ready? Here we go. Measures of central tendency are three. There's three of them. Here it goes. First one. What's it called? Copy this data first. We're going to use that data to show you the measure of central tendency. Now, that data is not a measure of central tendency. I'm going to use that to show you the measures. And by now, we already know what they are because we've been using them all year already. So if you were to guess in person, think about it. Mr. Q said we've been using them already. What would be the first measure of central tendency? Tell your neighbor. What would be the first measure? Use your noodle. Trust it. Yeah, the first one is known as the mean. The mean. Yeah, write that down. How do we find the mean of any data? You add all the data and divide by the number of numbers, and that's how it gives us the mean. The mean. All right? So I said there were three of them. That's the first one. Tell your neighbor a second one. What would be a second one? Yeah, the median. That is correct. How do you find the median? Well, we need this data in ascending order. Is it already in ascending order? Yes, Mr. Q. And which number is in the middle? 85. There it is. That's the median. The median. Oh, yeah, we got this. You got mean, median. Tell your neighbor the third measure of central tendency. Mode is correct. Write that down. Mode. And how do we know that it's mode? Because it comes from the Latin word moda, which means what? Mostly seen or mostly used. So which number is mostly seen or used? 75. That is correct. All right. Was that? There's only 3. However, think about this. There's only 3, but I asked you to do one more on the warm-up. Remind your neighbor what that one more was. Yeah, but that's not a measure central tendency. That one goes over here under none example, the range. The range is not a measure of central tendency, but it's needed for what's coming up next. That's why I'm asking you to practice that. So once again, why are these numbers, look up, why are these numbers not measures of central tendency? Because they are only what? Data. It's only data. So, since we already know what they are and how to get the measure central tendency, hashtag, what makes a measure central tendency? 3 different measures. Hashtag shows typical values of data. Hashtag 3 different measures. Hashtag shows typical values of the data. All right? All right, I'm going to send you a screen, send me your prayer model. I want to see what you wrote down, your copious notes. All right, thank you for sending that in. Once again, reminder, guys, pinch the screen. Some of you are sending me stuff like if I have a telescope over here. What's going on? Zoom in. Bah. Thank you. All right. So, here's the vocabulary in case you guys don't understand what we're doing. The mean, once again, it's the sum of all the data divided by the number of items. The median is the value in the middle once you set it in ascending order. The mode is one that's repeated the most, and the range is the difference between the largest and the smallest value. Here's the steps that we're going to take for today. We're going to organize data from least to greatest. Have we been doing that from the beginning of the school year? Yes, Mr. Q. Have we been identifying the mean, median, mode, and range? Yes. Today we're going to have 2 more, Q3 and Q1, which is known as the upper quartile and the lower quartile. And at the end, we're going to summarize or analyze data. All right? So, on your paper underneath your prayer model, copy this, example 1A. Write that down, please. Find the mean, median, mode, and range of the data set. Write the instructions this time only. You're not going to need them for the next. And then copy the data, 478 21242. Yes. Always. So, your colleague asked, Mr. Q, do you want it in ascending order? Of course I do. So if you don't want to copy it like that and you just want to start doing the ascending order once you copy it, do that so you can save time. I'll give you some time, copy and go. All right, so by now we can go a little bit faster because you know how to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Is that correct? All right, so let me get someone to help me with ascending order. Give me that list, please. Let's go with, what have we called on in a while? How about Jacob? Go, Jacob. Give me the ascending order. Like that? Let's see. There's 3 2s. So 1 2 2 2. 1 2 2 2 4 4 7 8. Okay. So, show your neighbor what you got for the mean. What'd you get for the mean? Three. All right, Jacob says 3. Let's double check. 8 plus 7, 15, 19, 23, 25, and 5, that's 30. Divided by 8. 8 times 3, that's 24. 6, add a decimal and a 0. 7 times 8 is 56. 4, add another 0. And that is 5, so 3.75. All right. Median. Tell your neighbor what you got for the median. What did you get for the median now that it's in ascending order? Jacob, pass them on. Brianna. Median. 3. Hands if you got 3. That is correct. 2 plus 4 divided by 2, that's 3. Very good. Mode. Pass them on, Brianna. Caitlin. 2. Hands if you got 2. That is correct. And the last thing, our range, we take 8 minus 1, therefore it's 7. Not bad, not bad. All right. Copy this next one onto your notes, please. Number 1B, 1B. You don't need to copy the instructions anymore. Just copy the data. 643-52518. And I'll give you times for you guys to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Go. All right, now that you check with your neighbor, let's get started. Yozgar, give us the ascending order, please. Read me your list. Hold on. Let me get my tool. All right, go. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. All right, looks about right. Pass someone for the mean. Lucas. 4.25. Hands if you got that. Looks about right. Let's go. Median. Pass someone. 4.5. Hands if you got 4.5. That is correct. Mode. Pass someone. Enrique. 5. Hands if you got 5. That is correct. And pass it to Mr. Q. The range is 7. Hands if you got that. All right, from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this so far? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. 5 4s, 5 4s. Yeah, we got this, right? All right. So now we're going to crank it up just a tiny bit. Okay. Here it goes. You're going to have to turn the paper over and copy this one, please, completely. And it reads, example 2A, 6 members of the cross-country team ran certain miles in a week. Find the measure central tendency. They give us 15, 9, 6, 3, 4, 12. What can you conclude from the data? Which measure best describes this data? Justify your answer. So copy that one completely, please, so you can copy the questions. I'll give you some time. Go. Again, as you're copying that, here are the instructions. Find the measures of central tendency. Remind your neighbor, what are the measures of central tendency, please? Hades, what are the measures of central tendency? Which ones are they? Close. He said mean, median, mode, and range. Tell your neighbor which one does not belong in the measures. The range, that is correct. So it's mean, median, and mode. All right, so find that really quick, and then we're going to talk about the 2 questions that follow. All right, take with the neighbor, see what they got for the mean, median, and mode. Mean, median, and mode. It should be just about done. All right, let's see. For the sake of time, ascending order for this is 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, and 15. Yes? All right, so mean. Let's go with mean. M for Sam. What'd you get, Sam? 8.17. I'm going to put the wiggles on that as approximately. Hands if you got something like that. Looks about right. All right. Median. Pass someone, Sam. 7.5. Okay. And mode. Pass someone. Levi. NA or no mode. That is correct. All right. So before we answer this question, guys, what can you conclude from the data? First of all, let's read the problem one more time. It says 6 members of the cross-country team ran certain miles in a week. There it is. Now, if you were collecting information from that team, look at it. Let me pause the music. What can you say about that data? Look at them. Talk to your neighbor. What can you say about that data for the entire team? All right, Ezra's going to share. What would you say, Ezra? Some track members are putting in more work. That is correct. Such as if you were to go back in time and think about people that have done that in the past, I would say Michael Jordan. In the Bulls, he's the one that put in the most time. When there was a game day, guys, he would get there 3.5 hours before the game and do practice on his own. At the end of the game, he would stay another 3.5 hours to put in more practice. Kobe Bryant, the same thing. I think I already told some of you, I went to Vegas when it was the USA team and Kobe was the Redeem team. You guys remember that one? And I was inside the gym, sitting down, waiting for the USA team to come out. But I got there early to get a good seat. I got there like 3 hours early, and guess who came out before anyone else? Kobe Bryant. Came out, started shooting around for 3 hours straight before the game. I was like, what? He reminds me of Michael Jordan. So yeah, there it is. Now, that is true, but let's look at the measures. Here are the measures. The mean, the median, and there's no mode. So mean and median. So look at the data, and the question is, which measure best describes this data? So look at the data, look at these two numbers, and talk to the neighbor, let them know which one would you use to describe the entire team. Which one would you use? Talk it over. Let them know why. All right. All right, Ezra, pass them on. Jordan, what do you think? So you would use the mean because it shows the average miles run. Okay. Ran. Fine. All right. And that's what I need from you guys. Whenever I give you a word problem like this, I need you to look at it objectively and say, well, I would use this because of this. I just want for you to justify why you're giving me that answer. Okay? All right, so let me send you a screen so you can send me your work, please. Give me a second. There it is. So, now that we found the meta-central tendency and we answered it according to what we observed from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with these kind of problems? 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, 5 fourths, 5 fourths. We got it, right? All right, so let me show you the home plate for tonight and the one that you're going to finish up right now when you, on your own, or if you want to team up with someone, that's fine. Look up to the screen. It says, find the mean, median, mode, and range. It says, label all quartiles and identify IQR. Don't worry about that. I want you to find me the mean, median, mode, and range of this, this, this. And then here they give you 2 more sets because they want you to compare. Yes? Oh, they want you to compare the height of male swimmers versus female swimmers. So, you know what to do with these. If you want to divvy up the work with your neighbor, that's fine. But when you get to this one, make sure you answer the question in regards to using the meta-central tendency, come up with a conclusion of the data and justify your answer. So you got about 14 minutes left. Get to work. Those of you that are following on YouTube, use this time to get some practice in. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.